So I used to work for the Philadelphia Eagles, right? And I used to do PR for the players. Now in that job, you tend to get close to some of the guys, you know. And one guy in particular, a guy named Dahani, we got pretty cool. So one night, Dahani asked me to roll with him to a Roots concert. I love the Roots, right? So I'm there, let's go, right? Roots. So the concert was amazing. You know, and afterward, we're kind of in this little section, and Dahani's holding court. He's doing his thing, signing a few autographs. So I decided to walk around and take a look and, you know, see what's going on, take the scene in. And that's when I see her. Oh my God, this girl, she was gorgeous. I mean, her face was breathtaking. Her hair was dark, down, curly, down at her side. She had this white dress on with black floral patterns. It swayed at her hips when she walked. It was like she was gliding across the room. I was smitten. And as I'm looking at her, you know, my head starts to sweat. My heart's beating through my shirt. My stomach is in knots. I thought I had SARS. You know, like I'm telling, SARS was all over the news back then. I thought I was an absolute goner. But then it dawned on me, I'm like, no, you know what? This must be what it feels like to have love at first sight. This has got to be it. It must be, because I've never seen this woman a day in my life, and I've already picked out a name for our first child. Ronald. It was absolutely perfect, right? But I'm so nervous, I don't know what to do, so I end up running back over to where Dahani was, and I grab him, and I'm like, dude, I just saw my future wife. And he's like, what? I'm like, I'm telling you, the woman I'm gonna marry is right over there, she's here. And he goes, show me. So I grab him, I'm walking through the crowd, I'm looking, my head is on a swivel, and I see her again. The same feelings come back. And I'm looking at her, I'm almost, you know, proud as if I'm already with her. And I'm like, you know, I look at Dahani and I'm like, yo, man, there she is, that's her. And he looks back at me and goes, competition's a bitch. And he heads straight for her. I cannot believe what's happening. I'm watching this unfold. I'm like, oh my God, what about Ronald? I'm over here, I'm shitting myself. I'm like, yo, I did this. I just ushered the woman of my dreams into the arms of a muscle-bound millionaire. This is my fault. He's gonna get her. They're gonna take trips together. And I'm watching, like, they're talking now, and she's giggling and shit. I'm so mad. I'm like, this fucking guy, he missed 3 tackles last week against the Cowboys. 3 tackles. But then I'm like, nah, man, nah. Snap out of it, man. You ain't no punk. You know, fight for her, fight for love. So I'm like, right? Shit. Plus, I read one time that, you know, most women don't even like rich men. Right? No? Is that? Okay, all right. Okay, I didn't read that, I wished it. I wished that. Anyway, I needed a plan, right? So I'm thinking, I'm like, all right, I'm in Philly. Everybody loves the Eagles in Philly, right? So I'll get her some tickets. I'll bring her out to a game, give her the VIP treatment, and then we'll elope. Perfect plan, right? So I wait for my opening, and I go over to her, but I'm still nervous as hell. I go over to her, you know, introduce myself, and you know, I'm not charming at all. I was just too tightly wound, and I'm repeating myself. I'm like, man, the Roots are, you know, really consistent, you know. And then 3 seconds later, I'm like, if I had to pick one word to describe the Roots, consistent. I was an absolute cornball. So I'm like, all right, it's time to execute the plan. So I say to her, hey, you ever get out to any Eagles games? And she says to me, oh, no, I don't like football. I don't watch it at all. Now, any warm-blooded American knows that in this moment, you must pivot, right? You got to adjust your approach. But not the guy with 2 thumbs. I was too nervous to improvise. So right after she tells me that she doesn't watch the sport, I go, oh, yeah, I can get you some tickets, no problem. I'll have you out. I was mortified. So I just gave her my business card and kind of like blended back into the crowd, embarrassed. It was pretty bad. I'm beating myself up about it the rest of the night. Even the next day at work, I'm at my desk and I'm just still like, damn, like, I fucked it up. Like I missed out on my chance, right? I just wasn't smooth enough. And then out of nowhere, an email comes through. Boom. And it's Rebecca, the girl of my dreams. And she says that it was a pleasure meeting me, and she actually left her number. It took everything in me not to email her back. Why? What the hell? But I guess it was true love, right? It was true love at work. This is what it looks like. And so we end up talking a little bit, and it turns out she was in the entertainment industry herself, and she was really turned off by like singers, rappers, actors, and professional athletes. So Dahani never stood a chance anyway. That was all in my mind. And then me, she could tell that I was extremely nervous, but she thought it was sweet. She thought it was genuine, right? Aw. So we end up going on a date, and it was amazing. I mean, there was chemistry, attraction. We had a great conversation. So shortly after, we start dating. And again, it was amazing. I'm on cloud 9 for about 1 month. And then the whole thing went to shit. I mean, we argued all the time. We argued about everything. We argued about my friends. We argued about the past. We even argued about things that I couldn't change, like my age. So she was a few years older than me, and apparently that was a sticking point. But I'm like, what do you want me to do? Yell at my parents for not fucking sooner? Like, can you imagine that? Like, no, y'all were lazy. I should have been here 3 years ago. Like, I don't know how to get older. You know, what do you want me to do? The whole thing was just drama. And so I'm gonna tell you the straw that broke the camel's nuts. So we were having one of our many arguments, right? And this one was over the phone. And she says, you know what, why don't I come over and let's talk, face to face. No problem, come on over. So she comes over and we're talking. And believe it or not, we're actually having a pretty good conversation. I was shocked. Like, this was going well. I'm listening to her. She's hearing me out. I'm like, wow, this is surprisingly, nice. Maybe there's a shot. I excused myself, had to use the bathroom. I'm in there for like 30 seconds. I come back out. Rebecca's not in the room anymore. I'm like, hello? So I step out into the living room, and I don't see her there either. I'm like, Rebecca? And I noticed that my front door was wide open. So I go to it, and I look out, and I see Rebecca in her car, hauling ass down the road, screeching off. I'm so confused, like, what the hell is going on? So I race back in the house to get my phone and give her a call, but I don't see my phone. I know I left it right on the nightstand, and it's not. She stole my phone. She stole my phone. Who does that? And then I'm thinking, wait, was this whole thing a setup? Did she come over just to do that? This conversation was really, really good. No wonder she took the phone. And that's not the kicker. Here's the kicker. I hope y'all are all sitting down for this one. She kept it for 2 days. 2 days. I'm going through my text messages, my call logs, screening my calls. Who knows what she was doing, but she kept it for 2 whole days. Needless to say, relationship over. I was done. That was the final straw. End of Chris and Rebecca. That was it, right? But I did have to reflect and think, like, what the fuck was I doing? Because we were together total about 10 months. And I told y'all there was only one good one. That means that 90% of this relationship was absolute trash. And I'm thinking, like, what was I fighting so hard for? What was that about? And it dawned on me, it was the moment that I met her. In my mind, I had created this dream scenario, this rom-com thing that's love at first sight, and I chased it, and I chased it, and I chased it. But it didn't have any substance. I made the whole thing up on my own, like a goddamn idiot. And you would think that I'd learned my goddamn lesson, right? Nope. I have repeated that move several times since then. And I think that, by definition, that makes me a sucker for love.
I was in a happily married state for 28 years, been happily divorced for 12. And now I am ready to get back out there. Woo, right? Okay. Divorce sucks. And the single life has been good. You see, I was a baby when I got married, and I never lived on my own. So since my divorce, I have loved living by myself. I love being mistress of my own domain. But after 12 long years, I am really longing for that human touch, a little companionship with the opposite sex. After 12 long years, I am really craving that crazy little drug called love. So, I am ready to be wined and dined again. I am ready to be flirted with, courted, ravished, and seduced. In other words, I am ready to get up all dressed up and go out on a date. But I don't have a clue how to do that. The very idea makes me feel like a 13-year-old at a middle school dance. And at my age, I am terrified. Is anybody ever want to go out with me? I know, right? So, to help me out, a friend of mine lends me this book, How to Get a Date Worth Keeping. And it is full of common sense. Chapter 1 says just start walking up to attractive strangers and talking to them. So I start chatting up guys at the checkout line at Whole Foods. I get up my nerve to flirt with this guy in the bus. His name was Clark, retired military, a film buff, and divorced, I think. The whole time I'm talking to him, I'm thinking, Joni, get his number, Joni, get his number. He gets off the bus. I don't get his number. All right, okay, chapter 2. Chapter 2 says join some clubs. So I joined this meetup group called Monkeys with Typewriters. And it is full of all kinds of creative types, writers and artists and cartoonists, and they are all half my age. All right, monkeys, anybody here from a broken home? Anybody here want to fix me up with your handsome single dad? Really good idea, but it was not happening. All right, chapter 3. Chapter 3 says join a dating site. So I sign up for eHarmony because that's the grown-up site, right? So I plop down my money and I fill out the questionnaire and I'm all right, Harmony, work your magic. But all they match me up with are these crazy, flaming fundamentalists. Now, I am a Christian. In fact, I'm a professional Christian. I am an Episcopal priest. But this is ridiculous. While the last book I read was a biography of Einstein, the last book he read was the Bible. My profile picture shows me hiking on the Potomac. His profile picture shows him sitting in a pew. The 3 things that matter to me most are my rocking adult kids, my profession, my independence. The 3 things that matter to him most are the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Oh my God, this is terrifying. Is this really who is out there? I just want to chuck this stupid fucking book and give up. But then, I need an actual date for an actual event, and I realize that during all of this time, I have developed an actual crush on a real, live person. A frequent flyer researcher, he's handsome, hip, funny, and age-appropriate. I check out his Facebook page and start flirting with him in the library where I work. Hey, friend, want to check out the books in the Z section? Follow me into the stacks. I decide to ask him out and get up the nerve to text him for coffee. Okay, all right. Hey, friend, do you think possibly in the future? No, all right. Hey, friend, do you on your schedule, could you look on your calendar and maybe? No, okay. Hey, friend, would you like to have a cup of coffee with me sometime? Send. A week later. Yeah, a week later. He comes by and says, yeah, coffee, let's do it. When? Friday, I say. And inside I am screaming, oh my God, he said yes! Giddy as a teenager and flying high as a kite, I consult my daughter Colleen over every little thing. What am I gonna wear? What am I gonna say? And I come up with this cockamamie list of things to talk about, like Disney World and Clericus meetings and how much sunscreen he uses. I am feeling so excited, but ridiculous at the same time because I am 60, not 16. So the day arrives, and I wear this rocking red dress, approved by my daughter, Colleen, of course. I get to the coffee shop early and sit down and pretend to work on my Mac. He arrives right on time, dressed for success in his Rhodes Scholar t-shirt. He orders his coffee, but he gets his muffin to go. I know, I'm like, oh my God, he's already planning his escape. But he sits down and we just talk. We talk about books and music and politics and kids and everything under the sun. You're a closet Unitarian. So am I. You went to Catholic U? Oh my goodness, I did too. And coffee turns into this great 2-hour date, and I didn't have to use any of the stupid stuff that I had come up with. He gets up to leave and says, well, this was great fun. I said, you want to do it again? He says, sure. I say, when? He says, well, I'll come by in a couple of days with my calendar. A couple of days goes by and he doesn't come by. Oh my God, he doesn't know that was a date. Oh my God, he thinks I'm a stalker. A couple of weeks goes by. Yeah, right, a couple of weeks goes by and he doesn't come by. And that is all the time I get to obsess. My daughter, Colleen, says is a couple of weeks. So I guess, like that other book says, he's just really not that into me. But that is okay because it is his loss, not mine. You know, and then it dawns on me, I didn't get this wrong. I got it right. I got it right because I did it all by myself. I did it all by my 60-year-old self. And if I did it once, I can do it again.
Love is my name. Love is not my game. And I want to find a guy to be with, but I'm kind of a prude, which doesn't work so well in a community that prides itself on being slutty. So as for romance, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm completely clueless. So I meet this cute guy through a gay hiking group, and yes, that's a thing. He has me over to dinner with this couple. This seems like a double date. In fact, I become his +1 for everything. One day he asked me to help him choose a swimsuit for his cruise, and it's a gay cruise, so think Speedo, but smaller and tighter. This seems like a boyfriend activity, but I just wish he could give me a clear sign. I'm not sure what that might be, like shopping for a jockstrap. So I'm really good at reading ambiguity into blatant overtures. And as I'm racked with indecision, any potential spark fades. Instead of friends with benefits, we're more like boyfriends without benefits. And that's my thing, tortured platonic romance. It's downright Victorian. So I start online dating, and it's a dating site, not a hookup site, so I'm totally confused when my inbox is instantly filled with dick pics. I search through my profile to see what I've done to encourage this. I find nothing provocative. I mean, I was a little bit lazy when I set up my profile. Like my dating handle, I just used my last name and year of birth, Love69. Oh. Shit. Everyone I have messaged, poked, or winked at knows me as Love69. I'm an idiot. So I changed my name to something more accurate but equally self-defeating. Tainted Love. So incredibly, after several years of unsuccessful online dating, a profile catches my eyes, and it's a sweet-looking guy holding a kid. We go out for dinner. His name's Eric, and he instantly asked me about being an elementary teacher, which is great because I can go right into my teacher stories, and then maybe he won't notice how nervous I am. So I tell him about the kids in Baltimore who love my name. Hello, Mr. Love. I tell him about the kids in Silver Spring who translate my name. Señor Amor, Señor Amor. I tell him about the kid who makes fun of my name. Mr. Love, you love everybody. Nice burn, kindergartner. And I'm killing it, like I'm on stage and not on a date. But then I remember I'm supposed to be asking him questions too, something that was shared unsolicited on a previous date. But see, here's the problem. I didn't read Eric's profile. See, I've learned from online dating that a promising profile doesn't often lead to a promising date, so I don't read them anymore. I just thought his picture was sweet. So that's what I'll ask him about. Hey, who's that adorable kid in the photo with you? Oh, it's my nephew in South Carolina. But see, then I interrupt him mid-sentence to tell him about my family in Ohio. And then I say, South Carolina and Ohio. It's a good match. We're both equally maligned. But then I forget to redirect the conversation back to him. At one point, Eric brings up my profile. So you say you're a malcontent. It's an interesting word to describe yourself. Okay, this is the exact kind of guy I can see myself with. Sweet, funny, no dick pics. But malcontent, tainted love, I'm coming off as this self-absorbed ass. So the end of the date comes and I realize I've talked about myself the entire time. So on a scale of 1 to 10, this date, I don't know, what's the rating for? I totally fucked it up. So I rush home to read Eric's profile, and I like him even more. I decide to ask him on a second date, and much to my surprise, he agrees. So I take him to the National Arboretum where he's never been, and I drive him from the flowering bonsais to the flowering azaleas to the flowering dogwoods. In my mind, everything's flowering, which may or may not be true. I play for him my Dusty Springfield CD. She belts out, left alone with just a memory. Life seems dead and so unreal. All that's left is loneliness. There's nothing left to feel. He says, wow, that's depressing. Right, I'm on a date with someone I'm trying to impress, not alone brooding on my couch. But then we walk through this beautiful meadow, and I'm about to grab Eric's hand. But instead I grab my phone because I get a notification. His mom just friended me. Okay, and I'm not a superstitious person, but I just feel like now she's jinxed our relationship. So driving him home, I'm totally distracted and I forget to take out the Dusty Springfield CD. When we get to his place, he gives me a kiss. Why did he do that? Did he actually enjoy the date? I just wish he could give me a clear sign. So our next date is already planned because Eric's my +1 to see me perform at the Story District Gay Pride Show. It goes something like this. So I jerk off into a juice glass, scrape the contents into a turkey baster, and then run upstairs to hand off the sperm so that baby making can begin. This is how Eric finds out that I'm going to be the sperm donor for my lesbian friends. I rush to find him after the show. He says, "It was good and explicit." Yeah, I guess I could have prepared him a little better. I mean, now he knows that I've gone further with a turkey baster than with him. He has a lot of questions. So, are you going to be like a dad or an uncle? Oh, I don't know. Are you going to be called daddy? And what about the role of a significant other? I haven't thought about it. So see, these are all sensible questions that I should have been asking myself. And then he says, "I'm just trying to figure out if there's a place for me in your future." I mean, he says that. I just wish he could give me a clear sign. See, I think he's looking for an exit strategy. He's going to wait a couple of days and then send me a rejection email. The email comes. But it's not a rejection. It's an invitation to his 40th on a boat in the Chesapeake. The rest of his family comes up from Charleston. His mom greets me with a warm hug. "I'm so sorry I friended you. I didn't mean to, but I didn't know how to undo it." Oh. So it was harmless cyberstalking and a mistake? Then I guess we're not jinxed. His brother slaps me on the back and says, "I hear you've already been unfaithful to my brother, and with a turkey baster." So I guess everyone already knows, and Eric's good with it. So the rest of the weekend goes great. When we go to leave, Eric's brother points to me and says, "Eric, that's a good one. Be a hawk, get your talons into him, and don't let go. Caw-caw, caw-caw." So when a hunter makes a bird of prey analogy about your relationship, you take note. It's the sign I've been looking for. So after that, things get better and better. Eric and I start playfully rating each other. I say, "Eric, on a scale of -1 to 0, you're a 3. He says, "On a scale of tan to beige, you're magenta." And I say, "On a scale of strongly disagree to strongly agree, you're a unicorn." And he is. So shortly after we moved in together, we now have twin boys that call us Daddy Chris and Daddy Eric when we visit them and their moms. Our twins were the ring bearers when we get married in South Carolina, and for the first time in my life, I'm living up to the potential of my name.
All I do is